From a fledgling nation to the most powerful country in the world, how did the United States rise to become a global superpower? In this video, we'll explore the key moments, strategies, and decisions that shaped America's dominance on the world stage. Whether you're a history buff or just curious, this is the story of how the U.S. transformed into the powerhouse it is today. Let's dive in. To understand how the U.S. became a superpower, we need to go back to its beginnings. After gaining independence in 1776, the United States was a relatively small and isolated nation. But even then, it had two critical advantages: geography and resources. The U.S. was blessed with fertile land, abundant natural resources, and natural barriers like the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, which protected it from foreign invasions. This allowed the young nation to focus on growth rather than defense. Fast forward to the 19th century, and the U.S. was undergoing an industrial revolution. The invention of the steam engine, the expansion of railroads, and innovations in manufacturing turned the U.S. into an economic powerhouse. By the late 1800s, America was producing more steel and goods than any other country. But it wasn't just about industry. The U.S. also embraced innovation. Think Thomas Edison's light bulb, Alexander Graham Bell's telephone, and Henry Ford's assembly line. These inventions didn't just change America, they changed the world. The 20th century marked a turning point. During World War I, the U.S. initially stayed neutral, but its entry in 1917 tipped the scales in favor of the Allies. After the war, President Woodrow Wilson's 14 points laid the groundwork for a new world order, positioning the U.S. as a leader in global diplomacy. Though the League of Nations failed, the U.S. had made its mark as a key player in international affairs. World War II was the defining moment in America's rise to superpower status. After the attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941, the U.S. entered the war and became the arsenal of democracy, producing weapons, vehicles, and supplies for the Allies. The U.S. also led the Manhattan Project, developing the atomic bomb, which ended the war but also ushered in the nuclear age. By 1945, the U.S. emerged from the war as the world's dominant economic and military power. The post-war era saw the rise of the Cold War, a decades-long struggle between the U.S. and the Soviet Union. The U.S. countered Soviet influence through strategies like the Marshall Plan, which rebuilt Europe, and NATO, a military alliance that still exists today. The U.S. also won the space race, landing the first humans on the moon in 1969. This wasn't just a scientific achievement, it was a symbol of American ingenuity and leadership. Today, the U.S. remains a global superpower thanks to its economic strength, military might, and cultural influence. Wall Street drives the global economy, Silicon Valley leads the tech revolution, and Hollywood shapes global culture. With over 800 military bases worldwide and a defense budget larger than the next 10 countries combined, the U.S. maintains its military dominance. But it's not just about power, it's about alliances and soft power too. So, how did the U.S. become a global superpower? It was a combination of geography, innovation, economic growth, and strategic decisions at critical moments in history. But being a superpower also comes with challenges: maintaining global influence, addressing domestic issues, and adapting to a changing world. The story of the U.S. is still being written. What do you think the future holds for America's role in the world? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our deep dives into history, science, and more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.